First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Welcome back to Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler, live here in the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom, as we are every weekday. We cover a wide range of topics on the show, and this is one that has to do with some scams that are going on out there. We want to let you know what to watch out for, but on top of that, there's scams taking advantage of people in really bad situations. And this is something that we've heard has been taking place, where if you're missing a pet, you get a call from an organization that says they found their pet, and then they ask for money before they can reveal anything or something along those lines. This is something we want to let people know about as far as what to watch out for, as does Washington County Animal Services. And that's what we're joined by Randy Covey right now. And thank you very much for being here, to talk about this. And before we get into talking about, what's happening with this scam and what people can watch out for, would you mind just telling us a little bit about yourself and the organization?
Greg, well, thanks so much for making room for this conversation today. It is important, and we're happy to share some information. We appreciate Fox News being interested in this as well. My name is Randy Covey. I'm the manager of Washington County Animal Services and the Bonnie Hayes Animal Shelter. And we've been seeing some activity related to this and getting calls from people who think we're calling them demanding money to get their pets back. And that's just not the case. We're very sorry to see that happening to folks, and we want to stop it.
Yeah, so these are people who have missing animals. And then, so they're getting calls from people claiming to be you?
Yeah. So, for example, we got a call yesterday from a person who had lost their pet, and they called us quite upset, thinking that we had called them, texted them, or reached out to them in some way, and said, "Hey, pay us money, or we're not going to get your pet back to you." That's not the way any legitimate animal shelter operates, certainly not the way Washington County operates. And so we appreciate this opportunity to share that information and also share some tips for people so they can look out for scams and know what to look for and know how to find their lost pet if in fact they are looking for it.
Yeah, I mean, because going through a missing pet, I don't know how many people out there have. I mean, but it's one of the worst things you can go through as a pet owner, and not knowing where your animal is, and then to have somebody try to take advantage of that on top of it. I would imagine you're a little bit vulnerable at that point too. So this is great, and thank you for getting here to talk about this and to let people know. So I think to start off, what are some of the things that people should watch out for, just so they know in the back of their minds if their pet does go missing, what is or is not legitimate?
Yeah, well, you're right. This is very emotional. People are vulnerable, and they're they've put out, generally people when they've lost their pet, they'll put information on social media. They might post signs on the street corners, and then they get a call and they're thinking, oh great, somebody found our pet. Well, these are the things to look out for. This is how you know that it's probably a scam. First of all, people that are scamming you will ask for money up front. They'll say, hey, pay us this much up front, and then we'll tell you where your pet is or how you're going to get your pet back. Or they'll say something like, your pet's been injured and we've paid for the vet bill. We want you to pay us back before we tell you where your pet is. Those are scams. That is not how legitimate animal shelters or even decent people operate. You might be asked to purchase a gift card or some other form of payment and provide that in a way that's hard to trace. The caller or the texter might ask for a verification code. They might say, I'm gonna send you something via text. I want you to give me that code before I tell you where your pet is. Well, as most people know, with two-factor authentication, they're simply trying to access your bank account. So if they ask you to read a code back to them, don't do it. It's a scam. If they refuse to meet in person, or they refuse to tell you where your pet is, or they can't give you a good description of your pet, or they can't even tell you where they found your pet, that's a scam. Animal shelters like Washington County Animal Services are always going to be very upfront with you. They're going to give you a description. Our goal is to get pets back to their owners, back home, and so we want to share all of that information with you, and we're never going to demand a fee over the phone before we before we provide that information for you. Also look out for a sense of urgency. If somebody's calling and saying, hey, you have to pay me right now, it's really urgent. We won't provide veterinary care until you make this payment. Don't fall for that either. That's a scam. At Washington County, and I can say with confidence that any animal shelter in the Portland metro region, if your pet needs care, it's going to get the care it needs without demanding any payment from you. And then you'll get information on what the status is, where your pet is, where you can go in person. If there are fees to be paid for, reimbursement costs, those can be paid in person and after you've had a chance to verify that your pet is safe and sound or where it is. So, yeah, look out for scammers. Don't fall for it. When in doubt, call your local animal shelter and find out, in fact, what the scoop is. So hopefully that'll give people some good information on what to look out for. And as far as Washington County Animal Services and the Bonnie Hayes Animal Shelter is concerned, we've focused primarily on stray dogs, but that's our whole mission is to provide a safe haven for pets when they're lost and try to get your pet back home to you. We have an excellent staff that search all kinds of social media. If you have a dog, make sure that you have a dog license on it. That's really the best way to make sure that we have up-to-date records. But microchips are great. All of those types of information and identification can help make sure that legitimate agencies can reach you and give you the information you need to reunite you with your pet.
Looking at, and which is so great to get them back, for somebody out there, say, either they lose their pet, and they can't find their pet. They go looking, in the neighborhood or whatever, they can't find them. What's the first thing they should do in that situation?
Yeah, great question, Greg. So if you're in Washington County, what we suggest is that you go to WashingtonCountyPets.com and look on our Lost and Found page. We have a really good page there where you can not only look and see if your dog has come into the animal shelter. Any animal that comes into the shelter is posted online within an hour. We go through the intake process, but we're very quick at getting animals up on our Lost and Found page. But if you don't see your animal here, you can post a lost message on our page as well and let people know that you're looking for your pet. That also helps us because when we have pets come in, maybe they come in after you've checked our website, but you've posted that you've lost your pet, then we'll have access to that information. We can reach out and let you know immediately that your pet is safe and sound or what the status is. But again, if you've lost your pet, reach out to your local animal shelter immediately. But in advance, also it's important, make sure that your pet has appropriate ID on it so that it can be returned by anybody that finds it.
Yeah, whether that's a chip or a tag or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
One other question, and I asked this just because this is out of a personal experience that happened to me about a month or two ago, and I had to figure it out in Multnomah County. Say you find a lost dog, and there's a dog, and clearly the owner's not around. The dog could be in danger of getting hit by a car, whatever it may be, and there's no danger taking the dog as far as the dog wasn't aggressive. This is what my experience was, and I picked up this dog, and then it's like, okay, now what? Kept the dog from getting hit by a car, but what do you do now in that situation? And I guess that's my question. What would the right circumstances be if you do find a lost animal?
Yeah. So services, it depends on the time of day, but if it's during normal working hours for our agency, you simply call Animal Services. If it's a dog, we'll dispatch an officer out to pick it up from you and bring it back to the shelter. And then our staff will start there. I have to say they are experts at tracking people down and getting pets back home. So if you find a stray dog, or if it it's a cat, if it's sick or injured, call us for that as well, or bring it to us, and we'll start the process of trying to reunite it with its family. If it's after hours, you can often call the non-emergency dispatch number for police departments, and if they have an officer available, they will sometimes dispatch an officer to pick it up. Or what's more likely to happen is that you'll be asked to just hold the dog overnight until animal services is open again in the morning, and then we can get the animal in and start the reunification process. But yeah, it's best to call as soon as you can. I'll also share that on our website, if you find a dog with a dog license, this is both a plug for making sure your dog has a license on it, but it's also information for people who find dogs with a dog license from Washington County. You can go to our website at washingtoncountypets.com, enter that dog license number, and then you will get information that will link you with the owner of that dog. And again, if you're an owner and you get contacted by somebody who says they have your dog, be very careful. Don't fall for any scams. You should never have to pay money up front to get any information about your pet. Avoid the scam, but there are a lot of processes in place in Washington County to help people get locate their lost pets and get them back home quickly.
Well, Randy, thank you for what you do. And I will say, for the dog that I found, just so everybody knows, this was in Multnomah County, but was reunited with its owner through Multnomah County Animal Services. And Randy, thank you for everything that you do there for people, for these pets, for all of that. And thanks for the advice too on avoiding these scams and giving people some knowledge to have just in the back of your mind, should something occur, to know, even in that vulnerable emotional state, like that red flag to go off, that this isn't right. And
yeah, well, Greg, thank you so much for making time for this. It is important. We encourage people to keep your pets safe at home, but when they get lost, just know that Washington County Animal Services and the Bonnie Hayes Animal Shelter is here to help you, and we'll do everything we can to get them back home safe.
Thanks, Randy. Really appreciate your time.
Great. Take care.
You too. And for everybody watching, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We've got more here. We're going all the way until our 4 p.m. news. This is Fox 12 Now, but this is one of the things where you get to have these conversations like this. So thank you to Randy. Thanks to Washington County Animal Services and everybody out there who helps out pets and helps get them reunited whenever possible to their owners. All right, quick break. Back in a minute with more Fox 12 Now.